Hello, my name's Linda and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm working with some of the sale Bration items today. I'm using the Berry Blessings and the designer series paper that comes with this. You need to spend £90 and then you get to choose this as a free gift. So let's just start. I'm actually going to start with some stamping, and I'm going to be stamping with this one, and these two. I'm using Pacific Point, Granny Apple Green, Night of Navy and Garden Green. I'm going to start with Garden Green, and I'm using the outline of the leaves. I'm just going to stamp. Then I'm using Granny Apple Green, and I'm using the stamp that goes inside this leaf, and then you just hover the stamp over and then down when you're happy. Next I'm using the berries, and I'm going to be using Night of Navy. So the berries actually line up on these little stalks. I'm going to try and line it up. So I'm going to try and line that up without putting my head in the camera. Not too bad. This is actually my favourite image from this set. And Pacific Point, I'm going to use this for the berries to just fill them in. And there we go. And next I'm going to just do some berries on their own. Fill them in again with Pacific Point. And there we go. You can see I've actually made quite a poor job of that, but it's because I don't want to put my head in front of the camera. And then we're going to do some fussy cutting. So all I'm going to do is cut around my image, and I want to cut around but actually leave a little white edge all the way around, possibly a little bit smaller than that. I'm not going to make you watch me do this. I've already done one. So let me show you the one I've done. So this is what I've cut out. And I've also cut some little berries out as well. So I'll put this to one side and we start with the card. I'm using Night of Navy for my base for my card. So this is an A4 card which I've cut at 14.9 centimetres, and I'm just going to score this at 10.5 centimetres. And there we go, and that is going to be the base of our card. I've already made a start with some of the pieces we need. So I'm using this designer series paper. So you get 12 sheets of paper, 6 different designs. And this is what I'm going for, this is my favourite. I've cut 2 pieces here. I've cut one at, I think it's this one, 10 by 14.4 centimetres. And then the other one's a bit smaller, 13.9 by 9.5. I'm going to have one of these inside the card and the other one on the outside. I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is at 10 by 14.4. We're going to be layering a smaller piece of designer series paper onto the top of that. Also, I have another piece of Whisper White here that I've cut out, and I've used one of the new Stitch with Whimsy dies, and this one is the second largest. So what I actually did was laid this down, and it doesn't cut, it just leaves this really pretty stitched edge to it. So I just put a piece of Whisper White in and run that through my Big Shot, and then I've just cut around the edges pretty close to the design. And then we're going to stick that to the largest piece of designer series paper, and that's going to go inside the card. So I've also cut this little strip of Whisper White, and I've used this die that has lots of little tiny dots on it. This comes from the Stitched Nested Label dies, and I've just run that along each edge. But you don't have to do that, you can just have a piece of Whisper White, and I've cut that at 10 centimetres so it fits onto the back of our Whisper White there. And the same with the piece of Whisper White that I've cut to go on the inside of the card. You don't need to have the stitching around the edge, you can just put a piece of Whisper White in there. I'm going to start by doing a tiny bit of stamping on my little Whisper White strip. I'm using Night of Navy, and I just want to stamp a sentiment here. I'm using thanks because I want to make a thank you card, and I'm going to put that at the left hand edge. Would have been better if it was a bit higher. This stamp comes from Well Said, but any stamp that you've got that will go on the left hand side. You don't want it to go all the way across because we're going to be sticking our berries on this side. Just going to burnish our layer. I'm going to start sticking this together. So I want the whisper white to go on the front like this, and then I'm going to stick the smallest designing series paper that we cut. That was the 9.5 by 13.9 on the top there, so I'm going to do that first. Then I'm going to stick that to the front of the card base. I don't usually use this end of the Tombow, but my other end is blocked up at the moment and I haven't got anything to unblock it. So this already is looking really nice, it's really pretty. So I'm going to do the inside next. Just going to stick this whisper white onto the design series paper, and then you can see some of the paper peeking around the edges, and also you've got somewhere to write your message. And then I'm going to pop that inside here. Okay, so I'm going to stick this down onto my card. I had to go downstairs and find something to sort my glue out because I couldn't work with the other side. How strange is that? I'm so used to using the thin end of the glue, Tombow glue. I was finding I was getting in too much of a mess with the other end. Okay, so there we go. I mean, this just on its own looks really good. Paper is so pretty. And then we have the little berries that we have fussy cut, and I'm going to stick this on. I'm just going to glue these on. Now you could put these on with dimensional, put this one on with dimensionals if you wanted to, but what I'm doing is I'm sticking this on, and then I'm going to stick my berries. So if you remember, we also fussy cut these berries, and I've just put a dimensional on the back of them. And if I can get the backing off, there we go, and then I'm just going to pop these on top. That gives it a little 3D effect. And there's the finished card, and it's even pretty on the inside as well. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Celebration runs from January to the end of February, and any £45 order you get to choose an item from the Celebration catalogue. Some of them you can get with a £45 order. This one with the stamp set and the paper is actually a £90 order. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Bye.